to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call, 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to answer your question on the air. And right now, if you call in between now and around December 20th, we are going to be registering you to win an iPad mini from Zeus Mortgage. So make sure you call in those real estate questions, and we'll be sure to add you to our drawing bucket. And you can also register to win the iPad mini from Zeus Mortgage by liking our Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/Houston Real Estate Radio, you could be getting an iPad mini here real soon. This first segment, I have Richard Campo joining me. He's actually Skyping into the RREA.com studio close to the Woodlands. He is the chairman of Houston First and the CEO of the Camden Property Trust. I heard him speak a few weeks ago when we did H-Town, and lots of great information. So I wanted to bring him on to share some things with you. He's the chairman and CEO of one of the nation's largest multifamily real estate investment trusts and holds strategic roles in the real estate industry. He serves on the executive board for the National Multi-Housing Council, the executive committee. He's an executive committee member for the Urban Land Institute and sits on the board of directors for the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts. He chairs the Convention Center Committee of the Houston First Board and also serves on boards of several organizations that focus on the economic development, business outlook, and future growth of Houston. He's just sitting around with lots of free time. Welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you.
Well, thanks, Shannon. I appreciate it.
So you're busy doing lots of different things. And what's really interesting, because we live here and have families here, we're busy. And when we go on vacation, we typically leave Houston. But lots of people come to Houston for vacation.
They do, absolutely. A lot of people come here, not just vacations, but to go to conferences and to do business. And, we're definitely, when we think about going on vacations, going out of town. But, there's a lot of great things that Houston has to offer. And we're trying to, at Houston First, get people to explore Houston first rather than leaving town.
Rather than leaving. So did you ever imagine that Houston would grow so fast?
It's been growing so fast for the last 40 years. When you think one of these incredibly fast growth curves, had some hiccups in the 80s and definitely during the last downturn. But, it's been a great growing market for sure.
What is Houston First? Tell me about it.
Okay, Houston First is what's called a local government corporation. And what a local government corporation is, it really is a wholly owned subsidiary of the city of Houston. And it's set up so that we can be more nimble business-wise, and that activities that the city of Houston would have otherwise done, that the local government corporation does. And so it's managed by a board of directors, and the board of directors runs the business. And Houston First manages some of the best arts venues in town. So the Wortham Center, the Jones Hall, the George R. Brown Convention Center. They also own the Hilton Americas Hotel, the 1,200-room convention center hotel is owned by Houston First. So they also do the parking downtown at Tranquility Park. All those parking garages are controlled by Houston First.
So is the board of directors for Houston First, is that made up of any city officials?
No, it's not. It's the actual board of voting members are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. Okay. We do have 2 city council members that are ex officio that are on our board, but they don't vote.
Tell us your mission statement. I really like your mission statement.
Sure. The mission statement is to enhance the quality of life of Houstonians and to advance economic prosperity and development of Houston through our services. And so the idea is that we are here about improving the quality of life, quality of place, and economic development. And I've always thought that it's hard to have a great quality of life and quality of place if you don't have a job. So economic development is a huge part of it.
Sure, absolutely. So Travel and Leisure Magazine, which has roughly about 50,000 readers, listed Houston as the number 2 city in North America that people want to visit. Who knew? Who knew we were the number 2 place?
No question about it. And that's a very, very high award from that magazine.
Yeah.
So watch it. It's reviewed or read by a lot of different people, including travel consultants and travel agents and what have you. To be number 2 on that list is really huge. And there's a couple where we're number 2 to New York City, for example, in culture and in arts. And a lot of Houstonians don't get that.
So how does Houston First market Houston to the world? And how do y'all market it?
Well, the marketing is done a lot of different ways, but we clearly Houston First and the Greater Houston Convention and Visitors Bureau realigned their businesses here in the last year, and so we have a marketing department that is just one of the best I've seen in terms of content, both print media, digital media. We have 7 websites that people can come to and find out information about Houston. We do television advertising. We do print, every kind of advertising out there that we do. We also coordinate with a lot of the other groups that are promoting Houston. The Greater Houston Partnership that has Opportunity Houston 2.0. They have a campaign. So we're arm in arm with anyone who promotes Houston, trying to have the same kind of taglines, same kind of target audiences.
So Houston, when people think of Houston, do you think they still think of cowboy hats and rodeos, or do they really think of it as a multicultural area? I mean, we have so much diversity here.
It is changing. I mean, I would say that 10 years ago, that's what people thought. It's sort of Texas, East Texas flat. It's got to be like El Paso, and no trees. But I will tell you, though, over the last 5 or 6 years, Houston has we've been getting the word out big time. You look at Forbes magazine last year had Houston as the coolest city in the country.
Yeah, I remember that.
Times magazine had Houston as the number 7 city in the world to visit in 2013. Now, in the top 10, we were the only U.S. city. And they said that it was because culture and cuisine. So that's not cowboy. That's not cowboy
right.
hat. When we brought the Super Bowl back to Houston, that's coming in 2017, we didn't show oil derricks or cowboy hats. We showed an urban environment, a very cool cultural area that people want to come and visit. And so I think that whole mindset's changing pretty dramatically.
Talk to us about the projects that you guys have going on around the city. Any big projects that you want to talk about?
Clearly, Houston First is involved in about $700 million of current development in downtown. And one of the things that's going to be really amazing is the transformation of the George R. Brown with the Avenida de las Americas changes. We're currently under construction with a 1,000-room new convention center hotel, the Marriott Marquis. That's on the north end of Discovery Green. We're under construction with all those projects right now. In addition, the now Center for Cultural Heritage is going to be, I think we're breaking ground tomorrow on that, actually. And that's a $100 million project that will focus on the 29 counties and the cultural heritage we have of the area. So when you add it all up, in downtown, there's around $3 billion worth of real estate development going on. In the city of Houston, it's about $6.5 billion right now. So there's a lot of, whether it be office building or retail or residential, this city is really doing well now.
Well, let's talk about that. Do you think that people come here just to visit? I mean, obviously we have tons of people moving here, but when people come here to visit, do they like it and want to stay? And so a lot of them move here because of that? Or is it truly the economic growth that's just bringing people here because their business is here, they come here, and it's really not about the lifestyle that's here? So in other words, is it the lifestyle that they want, or is it the business and the economy that they come here for?
I think that you can't have one without the other, because you wouldn't have good business if you didn't have great quality of life. And so I think it's a combination of both. It really is, because what happens is you bring people in here for conferences, or you bring them for a big game like the Final Four, the Super Bowl, and people go, wow, I didn't realize Houston was that cool. Isn't this a great place? They have everything that a major city would want. And when you think about the people that move in here now, these millennials, the young people, they want urban, culture, they want action, and Houston has a lot of it.
You have access to a lot of great videos. Are there any that you can think of, or a website you can send people to if they want to see some of these great new cultural videos of the city?
Oh, absolutely. You can go to visithouston.com. That's one of our main portal pages, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff from a culture perspective. I think Culture Map does a really good job as well, which is a great website that you can go on and see everything that's going on.
Because you guys have made some great videos.
No question about it. Absolutely. And you can go to the Super Bowl Host Committee website as well. There's some great video on that, too.
So right now for Houston, what's the slogan around the city? Y'all have a new slogan out?
Well, there are a few slogans. The most recent is the Opportunity Houston 2.0, which is the city without limits, and that's really cool because
I like that one.
it just sort of makes a broad statement that when you come to Houston, you can get things done, and our Houston spirit is all about that. Central Houston, which is one of the downtown support groups, has a new one coming up called Something's Up. And it's all about the changes and that are going on in the region. And I think that's a really fun one, too.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Lots of great information about Houston. Give me your website for Houston First.
The website for Houston First is houstonfirst.org.
All right. Thank you so much. Richard Campo has been talking about Houston First, and there's some exciting things happening all around the city. So stay tuned to hear more. If you'd like to get entered in the Zeus Mortgage iPad Mini giveaway, you can like us on Facebook over at facebook.com/Houston Real Estate Radio, or you can call in your real estate question. That number is 281-882-8088, and we'll be happy to answer that real estate question on the air and enter you in the drawing for the Zeus Mortgage iPad Mini. 281-882-8088. If you missed any of today's show, it's all captured on video. Catch us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com.
Hey, I have a question for you. Just how hot is your garage in the summer? Yep, thought so. Hot. Hot. And even hotter, right? So what if I told you that there's a product that can now help keep your garage cool? Introducing Windy Vent, a revolutionary passive garage ventilation system that works off thermal airflow to allow free airflow in during hot summer months and can be closed to keep the cold out in the winter. Windy Vents are sold in pairs and install in as little as 30 minutes. Get your revolutionary Windy Vents today and say no to your hot garage. You don't have to leave your garage door up to cool your garage anymore. Vent it 24/7 with Windy Vents. To get yours now, go to windyvent.com. Get 10% off your order. Just enter the word Shannon as your coupon code. Don't wait. Go to windyvent.com. windyvent.com. That's 2 E's. windyvent.com. Installation not included. See windyvent.com for certified installers and for more information. Restrictions may apply. See website for details.